Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Who says good evening? Hello. Hi. Hi. What's up? Hi there.
Oh, usually they don't even say hi. They just say go to the point.
My wife said not to say hi. Guys, I want to talk to you all about this thing of being mixed and whatever the hell that means to you. I hope it makes sense. So, I'm mixed, if you didn't know already. Um, yeah, like being mixed is kind of weird. I grew up with pretty peculiar circumstances. Uh, Notes I didn't say bad and I didn't say good, they were peculiar. It's weird because you're kind of in the middle of all situations. You've got white friends, you've got black friends, right? I don't give a shit about race. Quite frankly, everyone's brown. When I was growing up, that's what my dad used to tell me. Like, it's all bullshit. Everyone's brown. They just don't want to accept that they're brown. They all want to be something special. They like to call themselves white, even though you're the furthest thing from that. You like to call yourself black, even though you're the furthest thing from that. You're a shade of brown, even though you don't want to accept that. And that's a fact. Let me point this out because I said this just now, but I forgot it. So I'm going to come back to it when I remember it. If you look at the center of Earth, essentially that would be that Middle Eastern region. What are the people? They are brown, they're mixed, they're like the quintessential halfway point between what is considered a black person and what is considered a white person. Because you can get features that are extremely blonde, blue eyed, relatively. I guess Iran, Iraq, those areas can actually pull that off. Maybe they're not blonde, but some of them actually do have it. And you can get some nighttime shade brown further low you go there. The point that I'm trying to get at is that being a mixed person growing up, going through life. I used to swim, right? I was a swimmer, and you're with other brown people, the light skinned brown people, let's call them white, and you're with the dark skinned brown people that called you, and let's call them black. On the white side, they were like, you're gonna drown. Brown man, you can't swim. And on the black side, they were telling me I'm trying to be too white because it's a white man's sport to swim, apparently, right? Nevertheless, I became exceptionally good at it. I dominated the dominators in their own sport. Funny enough, that worked in my favor. But I guess it also turned a bit of a weird leaf with my darker brothers and sisters because they were still comparing me to white people. But at the same time, I also started harboring a new sort of approach with people that didn't really understand the racial dynamic. Racial dynamic. I think race is a farce. Just by the way, it's stupid. It's just a way for us to separate each other from ourselves, which is weird. But it worked in my favor because I had guys that my darker friends that wanted to learn a little bit more about this type of sport and the dynamic and the life that is incorporated. Swimming is a difficult sport, by the way. I mean, lots of sacrifice, 4 a.m. morning trainings, gym, evening training, evening gym. Still got to do your homework because I did it throughout most of my high school and primary school times, university, whatever. You got to get shit done. Nobody's there. Nobody's going to hold your hand. And no, I was not rich when I started. In fact, I was a useless, broke ass kid that was just athletic. I'm naturally athletically capable to get stuff done. And I needed to do that. I'm ADHD, so I can't sit still and be like, oh, cool, let me read a book and write something. Nah. Uh, you know, we got these temples. Let's use the temple, make the temple work. So I did that. And swimming was that the way to do so. However, point is, I had people on the one side that wanted to really learn how to do that, but at the same time, people that hated me because I was showing up for white people. And then I had people on the white side that became really, really good, close friends of mine. And then others that hated me because I'm the brown guy showing up in their sports, mincing them, destroying them. Absolutely. I'm just saying it like that because I have to feel good about that. I destroyed them. I wiped the floor with some of them. But you know what? At the end of it all, there was some good camaraderie. I guess when you grow up in general, right, the idea of race sort of becomes a thing of the past. People start to understand themselves better. For me personally, like I'm saying, as a mixed person, you kind of go through the world realizing that this thing is going to come to an end real soon. It's like with religion. Like we can talk about that in another video, but it's the same thing. You just start to realize these differences that we hold on to so much make no damn sense at all. Why do you want to compare yourself to me because of the color of your skin? And it's not even about color of skin. I made a video about this before. It's culture. It's the culture associated to that upbringing, that particular group of people that so happen to have a color of skin used to go through, right? And now that's a thing that's used against you, or not, or and you should, and therefore, and because, and so on and so forth. It starts to fade away. Now this year I'm kind of making this video because the point that I want to make, I'm making lots of points. I'll edit it, make it make sense. I'm turning 30 this year, and I have no goddamn time for people telling me about how they feel about them being black, or this one's like, oh, but white people also experience racism, and Indian people saying, yeah, us too. Like, bro, nobody invited you. It's like it's the same thing. And I only say that, and that's not racist. I'm also partially Indian, so everyone shut the hell up. If you have something to say in the comments, leave it down below. I'd like to hear your opinion. At the end of the day, we're all human, yo. Like, I like to make this distinction. Somebody sends a rock from outer space and smacks us, ain't nobody gonna be caring about what color of skin you were, or what your culture did, or your peoples did. Nobody cares. And mixed people, my people, all our peoples, you, me, your uncle, your dog, your fish, are all the same thing. I've been trying to make that same point. You gotta eat, you gotta live, you gotta go for walks, you gotta have sex, you gotta take a shit. You gotta do the things that make you live. Not talk about and sit and cry about, well, in 1852, my people suffered, or in 4,000 years ago, my people suffered. We can acknowledge suffering throughout our timelines as a species, right? But at some point, we're going to have to dissolve that line and come to the party that mixed folk have been trying to do for years through, from my observation, sport, athleticism, music, cultural integration. And when you go on Twitter, it's not Twitter, it's X. My apologies. When you go on X and you see some of the stuff people are still doing in light of their love for their race, and I put race like so because it's not real, it's just a word. We bleed the same blood, everybody. Let's pay attention to that. And they're so defendant of, well, black people still don't, and white people still don't, and Indians still this, and other culture. And by the way, Indians start going on to nationalism. So it's like essentially there's just two racial binaries, and the rest is just nationalism. That's something else. So people have confused their own logic because they just want to feel important. I used to say this, I said this to my wife. It's, what is it? The oppression Olympics. Everyone's out there trying to say, well, I've got this problem, and therefore my problem must be heard. And my problem's bigger than yours. It's like, why do you want your problem to be the problem? Like, why don't you just be like, hey, damn, I had this thing, but I'm trying to work on it. And yeah, for me, bruh, I used to be everything under the sun. I used to be pro-black, and then I was anti-black, and then I was pro-white, and then I was anti-white, and then I was pro-mixed, and then I was anti-mixed. Yes, I was anti the middle. It's weird. Like when there's three sides, like of a coin, which is the left, the one side, the heads, the tails, and the, what do you call it, the edge. I was against the edge. So I was just off the bloody coin completely. That was me, confused as hell. I was just like, who am I? What am I? And that's a big problem when you start misidentifying yourself with yourself. And it's because, we're fed all these things of, you are this, you must believe this, you must speak like this, you must do like this is what your people do, this is the music they listen to, this is the accent. I know my accent already. My accent growing up did not sound like this. This is a mixture of different places, regions, and information that I've been able to take in. But for those that probably understand where I come from, you can taste it. You can taste it. And only a few of us can actually taste it, actually, but it exists. It's a nice taste when you get to taste it. Other than that, I've been called British, I've been called American, I've been called everything under the sun because it's difficult to pinpoint my language. And I like that. So this is not just for mixed people. I'm just speaking as a mixed person, this video. But this is rather I would like to encourage people to get out of their comfort zones, leave their hometowns, leave your cultural hotspots where your peoples, your nations, your whatever, your language exists. Go somewhere else. Go and displace the hell out of yourself so that you can change your accent, change the color of your skin, change your damn hairstyle, do whatever. Like there's no restrictions to who you can and want to be. Although there are moral parameters that you can operate within. I don't think there's any rules to it, right? Go and explore, go and see what's out there, go and make your own distinction, drop this thing of race, realize that you are part of Earth. You're more than even just a human. You're part of an entire planet. Dude, I don't even think people are actually supposed to realize this. I actually should have started the video with that. You are part of a fucking planet. Let that just sink into your brain. You and me, the oxygen and everything is part of a ball that's floating through space around another ball that's hot. And this ball is doing us a favor by not exploding because it's sort of like a nuke on steroids, but it's deciding, I'm going to keep you warm at a toasty X amount of degrees. But it's all right. But here we are saying, you're white, I'm black, he's mixed, that's a dog, my cat shat on the bed. Make it make sense. If somebody can make it make sense, I can promise you right now, I will give you $1,000. No, I'm just joking. I won't give you shit. But good for you if you can. Good for you. But I highly doubt you can make any of this whole idea of race make sense. You can go to hell and back about your history, about everyone's history, and I can take you to the history that matters, which is some billion years ago. We don't even know the number anymore. Something happened. I'm going to assume there was a man in the sky or a being that said, let it be, and here we are. That's, I think, the ultimate one. You can deny it all you want. We can do the science route, whatever. It works. They all work. It's all the same truth at the end of the day. But yeah, what's the point of this again? Be mixed. Just be mixed. Be mixed in your life. Stop following rules that somebody else told you because 500 years ago that's what you guys were doing. It's probably wrong anyway. I mean, if nothing's changed in the future for everyone around you, it's most likely wrong. If you can do something that can bring more people of difference together, you are doing something right. So I hope that helps you. I hope that makes you make some changes in your life, and I hope that you find some sort of relatability with this, that you're sick and tired of things being too separate and you'd like to just bring it closer. Have a good evening. I'm out.